Hello and welcome back to this channel that's currently focusing on my 20-day juice fast. I almost said water fast for some reason. So today is day 12 and you'd think by now I'd have some more of like a format or something. I'm having some tea right now, which is also recommended to help cleanse the blood and stuff, purify the blood, push out the parasites, and also keep you warm because there's a lot of cold juices. You know, it's April. It's starting to, April 12th now, so it's, you know, we're getting close to midway through April, and it's like the winter temperatures are, obviously it's not winter temperatures, but it's just like it still hasn't fully transitioned to like spring, you know? And I think it's coming soon, but I just know that would make this a lot easier. I think I likely will do this next year. I'll probably invest in a juicer and do this myself. Like, I think I talked about this in one of my other videos of doing maybe like more consistent short-term fasts and maybe one yearly fast, like longer prolonged fast. But yeah, we'll see. But if I'm doing something of this length, I think I would wait maybe a little bit longer. Like maybe I would start this mid-April or even like end of April, May, because there's just so much more sun and warmth to kind of counteract the body temperature thing with the cold juices all day. So anyways, I'd love to report new things in terms of, you know, how I'm feeling, the energy and everything, but it's similar to all the other videos. It's like very balanced energy. I slept so yesterday, after processing some things and going on a long walk and having deep conversations, just energetically, I went for a climb as well too, and it's just like there was just like a lot going on for me inside. So when I got home, I finished a couple juices and then went to sleep kind of later. I didn't want to get up. I think I maybe got up once. I tried to like space out the juices that I drank before going to bed, so I stayed up a little later. And I mean, anyways, I'll get into it, but like I had a really good sleep. However, I did have another food dream, and this food dream wasn't necessarily the same as like the previous one I had on day whatever, which was like a chocolate bar. And I was like, oh no, I'm eating a chocolate bar. Like I'm breaking my fast. What have I done? This was like, it was like a big batch of chicken stir fry, like just like rice and like veggies and piece of chicken. And just like, and I was just like, like I was just eating it, you know, just, and the thought of a fast, I don't think came up at all. You know, I was just eating this chicken stir fry and loving it, you know, filling myself up. And it makes sense because before going to bed, like for whatever reason, I was on YouTube looking at some videos and I was looking at I think it's this guy called Beard Meats Food, and meats is like MEATS. Anyways, he's like a professional food eater in the sense that like he goes and he travels the world and takes on challenges that these restaurants have to like eat this massive portion of food in like whatever, whether it be an hour or some of them are shorter, like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And if he does, then he wins a t-shirt and like a picture on the wall or something like that. But he's like I remember seeing a few of his videos like last year or something like that, and I was like, that's insane, you know, like it's disgusting, but also like what, how, you know? And there's just so many videos. Like, how is he doing this? And but also he's got a good personality, good nature. Anyways, like he obviously like it seems like he enjoys what he does, you know. But now he has got like 6 million followers or whatever. It's just like insane, you know. There it is. Oh God, I love those yawns. But anyways, so I found myself watching some of his videos, just destroying these massive amounts of food, and the food looked like, you know, just that pub kind of food, you know, and some of it looked really good. And I almost started like, I knew what I was like watching was just like, this won't be helpful to me at all, but in some way I was just like mesmerized by what I was watching, and I was kind of like testing myself in a way. But anyways, I think that certainly affected some of the subjects of my dreams. So, you know, but that being said, like I didn't wake up again needing food today, needing to eat something. Like now that I'm taking this pudding, it is kind of like a different texture, right? And I can still tell that it's like a healthy thing. You know, there's only 4 ingredients. So there's not much to it. Oh, let's see if I can remember them. Psyllium husk, bentonite clay, activated charcoal, and slippery elm powder. And like with some grape juice, and then it just becomes this thing. It just breaks up the juicing with a little something else that serves a very specific purpose, like not to nourish me, but literally to kind of help the digestive tubes in my intestines to like clear out the stuff that's there. And speaking of that, had a movement this morning, and like definitely similar to yesterday, like released quite a bit of stuff, but one piece in particular was like a long strand. It was like almost a foot long that like was very different than everything else. Like the past movements have been, you know, kind of still poop, but like way more dense and firm. Whereas this thing was like, it looked like an intestine. And it was a bit of a different color too. It was like a lighter brown, almost like kind of green gray almost. Just more of that, more like I know. So from what I hear, like this is kind of the beginning stages of that, and the more that will come, the more that will be like these longer pieces that have, you know, more distinct color and stuff. But it was cool to see like one like specific significant piece that was like different than everything else, and it was way more rubbery, which is like crazy. So I'm really happy and excited to start moving some of these things out of my body. They've been there for God knows how long, you know. It's insane. So yeah, that's a really cool update. And yeah, and every time that stuff passes and this stuff moves out of me, and it's like, you know, it's a lot of stuff. Day 12 now, a lot of stuff of only liquids, right? And yeah, it feels so good every time it releases. Like I feel lighter, I feel just better, I just feel more spacious, more at ease in general, like right after, but also like throughout the day. So again, my energy today has been just very consistent, nice. I took it slow today, just I slept in, I did kind of like a morning routine thing, and really took my time with it, was really intentional. But I was like, things just felt, and this was before, all this morning routine was before the BM. And it was just I just felt very peaceful. And there was no urgency to get to the next thing. I was very content and present, like content with the presence and being just doing what I was doing, which was just light yoga exercises and qigong and some vagus nerve massage things and yeah, lots of deep breathing as well. And yeah, so there's really this sense coming over me of just deep appreciation for myself and for this process and for life's process. The unfolding of it all. And yeah, so great energy. And it's 3:00 now, and I'm getting more juices delivered tonight. Usually they're delivered on the third day, but because of who's making me the juices, they don't really have enough space, so they to store them, so I can store them here. And yeah, so I've only had 4 juices today. Now this tea, and I feel fine. I feel great. And now it's occurring to me that whereas before these juices, I mean, they still are nourishing me and they're giving me the energy I need and everything to move about my days. But now it's almost like with the incorporating the plasma pudding to help to really like move this waste out of me. It's almost like, yes, they're still nourishing me, but they're really acting more as a flush, like a means to really push this stuff out, which is cool, which is really, really awesome. And the person who's helping me do this, she got a new juicer, and now the new batches of juice that are coming through, like it's a more high-end juicer. You can notice the difference. It's called the Nama juicer. It's a pretty high-end one, and the juices have become like smoother and like more enjoyable even to drink, which is nice. And yeah, what else? Yeah, I'm just feeling a deeper calling to, again, be more still, be more present, be more intentional with where I put my attention and my focus. And yeah, I'm feeling very how do I say this? I just feel very called to just be with myself during this time, because I'm releasing a lot. I'm releasing, obviously, stuff that's been inside of me physically for God knows how long, years probably, more than that, like many years. And that coincides with the energetics as well, and letting go of stories, like releasing stories, releasing belief systems, releasing views about myself, releasing everything that no longer serves a purpose, no longer benefits me, no longer yeah, releasing what is not me anymore. Maybe what was never me, right? And so, yeah, I feel called to rest and, meditate and just be slow and steady, smooth. Just kind of, lean into what this is all uncovering for me. Lean into who I'm becoming, who I was becoming before this. I was called to this for a reason, because it's aligned with who I'm already becoming. And so this is already helping me. It's just helping me tap into that even more. And yeah. And it's not out of like low energy that I want to do, that I want to be slow and be more with myself and meditate and all these things and not do a whole lot. Like yesterday I went a big walk, and then I also went for a climb, and like today I feel like I could do like a really nice solid workout. I have plenty of energy and strength to do that. But I'm also like, I don't really like the call to do the exercise, like a heavier exercise, is more of like feeling like I should, to like, maintain muscle or continue working out. Like I totally could. But it's like trying to tap into the feeling of not what you should, but what is present right now. Like what is being, like what are you being called to right now? Like truly. And it's just like, it's just this, it's just releasing, letting go, forgiveness, forgiving yourself, forgiving everything, and appreciating it from a higher perspective, like the whole process, like everything that you had to get to go through, and everything you had to experience, and everything you had to lose, and all the pain and all the sadness and all the grief that were necessary pieces of the story, or necessary pieces of the unfolding of you that continues to unfold. These threads in your tapestry. This is a saying I've heard before. But yeah, and again, in terms of not losing muscle and all of that, weight-wise, again, not a whole lot of difference from the range of weight that I've been in. So it's like, depends on what your goals are. Sometimes maybe you go into this more, not so much for the spiritual element, which will come with it inevitably as well, but maybe you are going into this for more of a weight loss journey or something like that. And if that's your intention, I have a feeling that this will set you on the right path towards that as well, and would accommodate that intention. But that's not what my intention was. I had a bit of fear around, like, well, how much I'm going to lose weight, because I'm already like somewhat of a, lean guy or whatever. Like I'm not that heavy for my height. So that wasn't, there was a bit of fear of that, but as soon as I knew that how I felt after day 2, day 3, I was like, okay, let's just let it play out. And it really hasn't been a factor of concern in any way. And besides, like, even if I was losing more weight than I like would want or whatever, it's like, if I feel the way that I feel, which is more clarity and more peace and calm, like, that's really what I've been searching for. That's what I've wanted. So it suddenly becomes not important. Obviously, you want to stay strong. You want to have a healthy body for, your later years in life. But this is so important. Finding this state, touching this state. Like being able to taste this energetic state for like sustained throughout the day for multiple days. Like that's huge. That's huge. So, yeah. So day 12, feeling really good. Feeling really good. And really happy and excited that I've started passing some plaque, and it's really cool to see, like, have some proof or some like actual, like, how do I say, results. Like the results are already like in the energetics of it all, but also in the what's coming out of me. It's like it's awesome to see, like, okay, cool, I was wanting this and here it is, like, yay. And so I'm just going to keep going. Right now the plan is to do the full 20 days, though, I might extend it a little bit, so this might become a 30-day thing, and then so then the playlist will be 30-day water fast or juice fast, and then half of the videos will be like 20 days. We'll see. It really depends on how I feel intuitively during those kind of last few days, and also how much stuff I've passed, because according to the person who does this, so when we do this, she says, like, your intestines, like where that primary buildup happens with all the plaque, is between 26 and 30 feet long. So now I need to make sure that I'm kind of keeping a tracking of like how much I've released, and to have an idea of, like, because ideally you want to release close to that amount of plaque. 26 to 30 feet of stuff that's just been sitting there for years. And that's what, these parasites and these worms are feeding on. It's crazy. Yeah, I haven't seen any parasites or worms or anything like that yet, at least to my knowledge. Maybe I don't have the eye for it, but I don't think I've seen that yet. But I'll make sure to let you guys know if I do. But as always, if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, you're watching this, feel free to throw them in the comments, and I'll do my best to respond as soon as I can. And if you're feeling called to this, like, I think it's an incredible experience, life-changing experience, truly. And you just have to trust the process, because you'll have these expectations of how you hope it goes by certain times or whatever, but there's a natural unfolding. But it's like the releasing of these things, self-concepts, beliefs that are tied to also what you're releasing physically. It's like these are massive things that have been attached to you and tied to you for likely the majority of your life. And so there is a distinct feeling when it lets go, like you let go of it. And when it tries to latch back on, you're not there. You're not there to entertain it anymore. You can see it. And it yeah, it might try to seduce you in different ways to associate it with it and reattach, but there's a point where you're able to just see it and love it for what it was, but your hand is not out stretched out to reconnect with that belief and that self-concept and these energies and emotions. So yeah, it's really, really powerful. And again, I'll say I'm very fortunate and very lucky that I'm doing this, like living by myself. Like there's no, kids or a partner right now that can trigger things or whatever. I haven't seen my parents, too much during this. I've talked to them a little bit, but like, I'm sure that those things bring up stuff and will test this newfound place I've reached. And like, but the thing is the judgment of yourself, right? Like, there won't be as much judgment of my own failures, quote unquote. Like if I do regress into old habits, or I am seduced into reattaching to these old beliefs in certain ways, there won't be as much judgment on myself, not as much kicking myself while I'm down sort of thing. And that's huge, because that aspect where you're hard on yourself while you're already feeling bad, and then your reaction is to be harder on yourself, like that's just a terrible loop. And that's something I'm connecting more and more to, is just kind of like this deeper self-love and nurturing, this deeper like safe place to land, self-trust, to know that you can trust yourself to land back in within yourself, and you're there for you, and you're checking in on yourself, and you have more compassion for yourself, Yeah, so much to say, but I got more juices to drink. Yeah, I hope you enjoy your day, wherever you are, whenever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're going through. It'll pass, and you'll look back on it as this necessary thing that helped shape you, and you can see how God like is shaping you. It's like the waves from an ocean hitting up against a rock or something like that, and smoothing it out over years and years and years and years, and suddenly it's just this like natural, beautiful figure that was shaped over time by nature. It couldn't have been shaped in that way, in any other way. Yeah, really cool stuff. But yeah, I wish you a beautiful rest of your day or your night. Many blessings to you, and yeah, I'll see you for day 13 tomorrow. All the best.